This is called a book talk.
Okay. Nice.
And today we at Book Talk we have a guest with us who is author as Jasmine Tilman,
Okay.
and Jasmine is an author. And we are going to find more about her as we keep on moving. And we are really glad to be having you here with us, Jasmine. Welcome to the show, Jasmine.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and please, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Like, let me give you an example. I am Anthony Morore. I am from Kenya, although right now I'm in Athens, Greece, and I'm an author of a book called Be Good for Good. So, who is Jasmine?
Yes, so my name is Jasmine Tillman, aka J.R. Tillman. I am an author of a journal, a recent
Yeah.
journal that's coming soon, very soon, sooner than soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it is called Get a Grip, Will Ya, You Matter. And I'm based in Toledo, Ohio, but I'm looking to move to Atlanta, Georgia very, very, very soon. Just to get out and explore the world and get my work out there more and start to live the life that I desire. So,
Oh, wonderful. And I'm glad that you're coming from Ohio. I'm always hearing that word, and it's
oh,
it's
really?
been yeah, it's a great place, I believe. I want to believe that it's a very great place, Ohio.
Yeah, it's a fine place. It's okay, just for someone that never like really went anywhere, but around the corner, as I say, like, just about 30 minutes or 45 minutes away. It's okay. It's an okay place. I can say
Uh,
that. Okay.
I used to listen to this one great speaker who was known as Jim Rohn. He's gone by now, and
Oh,
he used to talk. I come from Idaho.
oh, okay.
So how far is it? Where are you? How far are you from Idaho?
I want to say,
Ohio.
maybe I really don't know, but it sounds kind of far. I'm very far. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. A small city on the west
Okay.
bank of Ohio.
Mm.
So yeah, everything else is really far out from here.
Ah, and you were dreaming of going to one of my dream places,
Really, Atlanta,
Georgia, Atlanta,
Georgia.
Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice. They doing the thing down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So great, great,
Yeah.
great. So you're an author and you're a writer and an author, I believe. When did you write your book, or I mean, when did you start writing? So to speak. When did you start writing?
Well, I've been writing since a child. My mother always, I like to highlight the story because I really didn't take heed for the story until like I got 22, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
22 right now. So I
Uh-huh.
have, yeah, I really didn't take heed into the story until I got this age, until I got really into writing, because it's like I always pushed it off or put it to the side because I was chasing money to try to get to writing, to get a chance to write. So I'm like, oh, I need money to even be able to pay for it, just before I found
Yeah.
out to do it. Yes, yeah, a way easier way to do it. But she was like, I want to say I was 7 years old. I think I was in first grade or in
Uh-huh.
and she was like, the teacher, or no, I think I was in kindergarten, sorry, kindergarten.
Yeah.
And she said that the teacher was like, she told the kids to write a sentence of a star. And I wrote an entire paragraph and I could barely spell yet. So,
Mm.
yeah, she was very impressed with that. My mother, she tells me the story to this day, but I never really
Mm-hmm.
paid attention to it. So I've been writing for a very long time.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it's good when some of our teachers or our parents realize our potential, our gifts, or our talents early in time. So they can always encourage us and guide us in the right way that we should grow. So I'm glad that your teacher identified something in you at a quite an early age.
Yes, it was so young. My mother always, get back to writing, write. So it was just like, had to write.
Oh, wonderful. So now this one that is just about to be released is a journal, isn't it?
Yes,
Uh,
it
uh,
is a
uh,
journal.
Okay, and what inspired you? This is your first one, yeah?
Yes, this is my first journal.
Okay, this is your first book and first journal. And we are wishing you a great journey ahead. And I believe at 22, that's quite a good age to start on a career, on a path that you look forward to accomplishing much. And we are wishing you some greatness in it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let us know, please, what inspired you to write this journal?
So what really inspired me, I'm actually like I love fiction. So it's like
Mm-hmm,
I also have my book. That's not. It's a hold off on that. My first book, supernatural fiction novel, is coming out soon. But
mm-hmm,
what actually I love writing fiction, and what actually inspired me was, people's like, you should write about your story. Your story is just so intriguing, and you are just a great individual. They would just be, you're so driven. You're so driven. You should write about it. You can help others. And I'm just like, no, I
yeah.
really didn't feel like, my story is worth even hearing. I'm like, okay, people wouldn't even enjoy it. So I
Mm-hmm,
actually took I know life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So I took that step, and I'm like, let me create a journal so people can really know me as the author. They can know who
mm-hmm.
I am versus just knowing about the fiction novels that I create. They can know me as
Okay.
a person and how I became the woman that I am today. So I really
Yeah.
just wanted to, just get it out there and get people to know who I am as an author and as a person, and how they can get over things and like things they go through as well, because I've been through a storm, but I also seen the brighter light on the end of the tunnel. So I had to keep going.
Ah, wonderful. And I'm interested to know now, since you talk about people who've been reading your fiction, and as I get to understand, your book is not out yet.
No,
Who
it's
have
not.
been reading? Who has been reading your writing, if not
Oh,
us?
yeah. So I have a short story. It was based on, what is it called, the app, Wattpad. So I had a short story, that I started off just to show people how I write. So I sent it off to my old, my old confidant. I sent it off to her, and she also had a colleague in the office, and they were just telling me like, "Wow, you wrote this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I wrote it." So I'm just like, because I didn't really, I'm like, "Yeah, I wrote it." I was nervous to get their feedback. I also have my cousin. I think he's a pastor at a church, and he sent it off to other individuals such as
Mm-hmm.
business managers and things, and they read it. So it's just like, they were just pushing me and encouraging me to put my work out there more in a more nonfiction form as well as fiction.
Oh, yeah, and that's very good. As I said earlier, when you have some people who are encouraging you, your brothers, your sister, your uncle, when you have family or friends close to you that are encouraging you to move on, that's one thing. But it's quite another thing when you choose to be someone who encourages others and shares your story with others so that they can get some lessons and learn how to encounter life's turns and curves. So at 22, yes, I believe you've had some quite an experience because we've all been there. We've been there from kindergarten and gone through primary school, high school, and understand that you could have gone through some great experiences. Can we get a glimpse of what is in the journal?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is, so let me just tell you a little bit about it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I wanted to really get a grasp. I wanted people to get a grasp of themselves.
Mm-hmm,
So I really put my story in, and I want people to relate. So, they get to really journal and write off of, just seeing what I went through, and then they can dive deep into their mindsets to really see like, oh, I went through this too. I can relate, just journal it down, and they get to see it outside of themselves. Because when you
mm-hmm.
see things outside of yourself, you start to realize that, oh, I really need to work on this, or I didn't know I
Yeah.
felt a kind of way about this, and this was holding me back from completing this goal. So
Mm-hmm,
that's just like, I have that, and also have positive affirmations. I want to make sure people, affirm themselves. Take a moment to affirm yourself, to get back into that space, that wonderful headspace that you need to be the best person that you can be. So
mm-hmm.
it's like I put I have a little bit of that sprinkled in there. But I have, I just want to make sure it's personal development in there as well. The number
Okay.
one thing with me is personal development. And the number one
Mm-hmm.
rule that I have is 100% no judgment. No judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Speak
Mm-hmm.
your truth. The mistakes you made, we're human. You cannot judge another person off of, things that they did when you have your own dirt or things that you went through in your life. You
Mm-hmm.
probably did a million circles around this one thing and you still doing it. But
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted people to really to really open up. I dedicated it to the ladies because at first
Mm-hmm.
I'm a life coach. So I wanted
Yeah.
to, at first I was going to be a woman empowerment life coach, but I want to expand my powers and my gift out to everyone that I can because at first, the guy was telling me guys aren't going to listen to you, but actually my cousin, he shifted his whole life around and
Mm-hmm.
around, and it was because, and he told me one day, he was like, why I did that? I'm like, why? He like, because you, and this is a grown man. He was 24 at the time, and I was 19 years old, and he listened to me, so it's just like,
Wow.
I just,
Whoa.
yeah.
I see a life changer here.
I heard that a few times. I have.
Yeah, let's get to hear one or two stories that we are gonna find in the journal once we get have it in our hands. One or two stories, please.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So the first story, my most magnifying story that I would love people to hear and really to relate to is the parent story, because a lot of, a lot of people, teens and everything, they want to make their parents proud. So this was
Mm-hmm.
my thing. My father figure was, okay, that's another story, but my father, just a little bit on this one. But my father figure, he was in and out of the prison home, growing when I
Okay.
was growing up. And my mother was always at work, and then my brothers, I had older siblings. I have about four brothers on my mother's side, and I have like five on
Wow.
my dad's side. But we're
Mm-hmm.
not really close. We're not really like, that close. I'm not really that close to my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I have my cousin and my two cousins. They were, my brothers, but one is, in the prison home, and one just passed a few months ago. So it's
Oh,
just
sorry.
like, yeah, it's just okay.
Mm.
So it's just like, I wanted to go to school, and
Okay.
but I wanted to go to school to help others, to help people. But my mother wanted me to go to nursing school,
Mm-hmm.
always with the nursing, because it is good, because it's safe. She wanted me to be on the safe side because of like
Mm-hmm.
pandemics and things like that, just to
Yeah.
make sure you always, a nurse always stay with a job. And I went to school, this was before I even knew how to write a book. And I went to school and I was going every day, the job hours. I couldn't get a job because the hours were, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 5 p.m. Nobody, I'm sorry, like 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. No one wanted to hire, someone that was working. The hours were ridiculous. I never worked a factory job. I'm fresh out of high school. I didn't want to, be a failure to her or myself. So
Mm-hmm.
I took I feel like I took the easy way out. So I went to school and I was miserable. At first I went getting I got A's and B's and, just in there. I'm like, okay, yeah, it might be nice. I had nice friends and it was like, okay, okay, nice. But
Yeah.
I began to I began to lose myself. And it was just so, like I was just drained, and it's like I don't even want to do this, So I
Mm-hmm.
tell my mom like I'm just miserable. I'm like, Mom, I'm miserable every day, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do it. And I fast forward, to today. I want to say a few years back, my father was in my life. He was always around, but it was like it was in and out. But he's always the
Okay.
one that we can talk to. My mother, the
Mm-hmm.
one would work and provide the products that we need, you know. So I'll speak to my father, and he was like, if you don't want to be there, drop out. And this was 2 months before my state test. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, 1 month. This was 1 month before my state test, and I was going to be
Okay.
done with school.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped out. I dropped out. I left my mother's house, and I was on
Mm.
my own, and I got a job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
At what
first
age?
picture. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
At, at what age was that?
I want to
The
say
age,
this was 2018, so I want to say I was 18, 19 years old.
18, 19
Yeah,
there.
18.
You just left.
Yes, I did.
That's
It
quite
took
bold.
me hard. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
That's quite bold.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like I was so. Thank you. Right, huh? I didn't ever think of that. I was just so scared. Like I was scared. That it's a lot of things that I didn't like. I'm like my mom's not gonna love me anymore. She's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna like never accept me anymore. And it was, we didn't speak for a few months after that. No, a few
Okay.
months. I moved directly out the same day I dropped out of school. I moved out because if I would have stayed in her house, she was gonna be like, "Why are you not going to school today?" Because she provided, she was providing me with gas money, to get my little coffee frappes and McDonald's every single day. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, or every week. But it's like I was just miserable. It's like my hair wasn't done. I couldn't wear my nails, and it was just miserable. Yeah.
I understand. And how did you eventually get to, because I want to believe that you got back to speaking with mom and I mean, you got back together. How did it come to be? How did you
Well,
overcome that state of hopelessness, as you want to put it, and get to get a grasp of your life and continue moving?
yeah. So, well, actually, when before the month before I dropped out, when I was, my grades started to fall from A's and B's to C's and D's, I just kept it okay, just to, just enough to stay in school. So
Mm-hmm.
I I was looking up how to write a book in medical school when we were
Yeah.
in class. So it
Mm-hmm.
was just like I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like, I need to learn how to do this. So I moved out and I began writing my book on notebook paper. I started off my first book, the book Incursion, started on notebook paper, and pen and paper, pencil and
Mm-hmm.
paper. As I should say, I don't like writing pen. I don't like writing pen.
Okay.
Yes, it started on pencil and paper. I was just like, I got a factory job when I moved in with my cousin for a little bit, and I'm just like, I told my I got back. My mom, we still weren't talking when I went back to her house. I want to say 3 months later, but it's like I would be in and out because it was like I was hopping from house to house. I just recently got house hopping for I want to say like a year and a half to 2 years. Just from family personal issues and things and such. But I couldn't let my dreams like go out the window because if I let them die, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
follow my dreams, I'm gonna still be going through things I'm going through, but for nothing. So.
Okay. Yeah. Another story.
Oh yes, yes. So another story is I want to say which story can I choose? Because there's a few in there. But of another huge story of me is I want to say my ex boyfriend. He was a huge like a lot of people say that I'm mature for my age, and it's
Yeah.
just like that kind of heartbreak that I faced is excuse me, that kind of heartbreak that I faced, it was like it really kind of molded me into the woman I am today because just from the mindset. And I say that because it was personal development for me. Because of
Mm-hmm.
me not having my brother and my father figures in my life, I was going out searching for that love that I got from my cousin that was my brother.
Okay.
He was in jail for 5 years. He got out, but now he's back in. He went to jail when I was a kid, and then my grandfather, he passed away on 2/22/13. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just this type of love that I was, yearning for that I didn't receive from the male figures in my life, and I thought I got it from him. It was temporarily, you know.
Okay.
And it's like I gave him, like the love back that I never even thought I can give out. And I gave that love, away. And it was just like, it just kind of twisted me in a circle of like, what am I doing? Like, my cousin, my brother, even though they weren't really around, he, like, when he would come to my mother's house, he would always give me advice on, men, how they think. And it's like I knew better, but my feelings had the better judgment of me. So,
Mm-hmm.
when he kind of left and I was just, I was kind of lost. And that added on to me even going to medical school thinking, that, oh yeah, I can show him that I can do battle by myself or I can, bring him back around because he's telling me that I fell off in life and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm thinking like, okay, that's why he left me. But that really wasn't the case, because he would have stayed around. So it's just like, a lot of things that I went through. I want people to learn from, see through my eyes and learn from the mistakes that I made because this was a way that I grew up learning from others' mistakes. Another reason why I waited to have children.
Yeah. And yes, we are always there to learn from each other. And once we see the mistakes, avoid the mistakes in our own lives. And you're mentioning medical school. You're still learning, or you're cleared?
Oh, no, no, no medical school for me. I am sticking strictly to, I'm actually a life coach. I have a master mindset
Mm-hmm.
certification. I have a master life coaching certification. So I'm a life purpose coach and a
Ah, okay.
transformational speaker. Yes, and a transformational speaker. And I was a lot of other things, but I was actually trading currency on the foreign exchange market, but I'm really not into that. I was going to strictly stick to being an author, a life purpose coach, and a transformational speaker. My three goals in life that I really want to, succeed. I like to help people succeed in personal development and not financial stability. I really my thing.
Oh, okay. And now the affirmations that are in the book, in the journal, what kind are they? If we can also get to experience a bit of it, and yes, how they help the person that is going to be using them.
Yeah, so the affirmations, I really wanted to get people to affirm themselves, to
Mm-hmm.
speak to themselves, look in the mirror and just really see you for who you are. To
Mm-hmm.
really repeat those affirmations. I am positive. I am a great person. I can do
Mm-hmm.
this. I am one of a kind. These are affirmations that I actually repeat to myself. I even have an app where I have affirmations sent to my phone every single day. And it's like they always send at the right time because if I even have a negative thought, they're popping up on my phone every 2 minutes. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, did they read my mind? So it's just like, it really helps me. It really helps me just like,
Okay.
just by me even speaking up for myself.
Mm. Mm. Wonderful.
Mm.
And now, since you are an author, we are just about to have your journal and your novel at the same time. It's not quite often that you get to have a new author launching two books at the same time. That's
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yes, yes. Well, actually, my novel, I want to say it's about another 3 weeks on that when it come
Yeah,
before it comes out. Yes,
yeah.
it's just the last few minute things I have to get situated with my novel, but I wanted to make sure I give my audience something because I know they've been waiting so long to even know who Jasmine is.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. And now, if people want to connect with you to get to know when the book is coming out, the journal is coming out, and the novel is coming out, how can they connect with you?
Yes, absolutely. So I have a few social medias. I have my Instagram is underscore I'm sorry, authors JR Tilman. And
Mm-hmm.
same as my Facebook, authors JR Tilman.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter is at Tilman Jasmine with the one L. I have to make sure I tell people one L all the time
One
because
year.
yes, tell me one L. Yes, and
Yeah.
actually yes. So I have contact information on my website as well. They can always stay in touch with me. So if they want to reach me, I have a on my website info at jrtillman.com and on my Facebook group if people want to come and get their work out there and network is a huge thing for me. It is Book Queen. And my
Mm-hmm.
contact info is on there. Jasmine Adams. I'm sorry, Jasmine Tillman, 60 at gmail.com. I'm thinking of my mom. Yeah. So yes,
Yeah,
that's how
understand.
you can contact me. Always stay in touch with me.
Ah, that's wonderful. So we're gonna at least tag your website there. So, and I believe they are all connected to your website, and they can find you
Yes.
in
Yep.
all those areas. So, is quite quite a positive story that we are hearing from you,
Yeah.
and we are wishing you success in your novel, and we want to hear more about the journal and see you succeed and live to be the greatest authoress. Now, one question. I'm always seeing people identify themselves as author Jane, author Mary, and you come here and you identify yourself with the authoress, which is the correct term for, uh,
A
I mean,
woman.
for you,
Oh.
for a feminine author. This is quite interesting because, yeah, how did it come that are you so, how do I put it? Are you a perfectionist or what?
Oh my, you noticed that? Oh my goodness. Huge perfectionist. So
Uh-huh.
huge. I'm huge. in high school, my confidant actually, she said she diagnosed me with the symptoms of a perfectionist. I
Yeah.
am. I am a perfect. I am. I am.
Okay. Good to know that. And
Yes.
it's good. It's good. It's good. Keep on keeping on.
Yes.
Yes, and it's good that we have you doing that and showing us the way.
Yes.
And just before you go, because we are just about to sign off, but before we sign off, I'm always asking someone who comes to the book talk episode to leave us with a parting shot, something that you like us to remember you with once we are through.
Yes. Yes. I want to really, just it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter what you did in the past, what you thought in the past about yourself. You have to keep going because the things that you chasing today may come tomorrow. So you grasp your dreams. You don't chase them.
Wow. Grasp your dreams, don't chase them. They're here.
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Jasmine. We are very honored to have had you in this show, and we look forward to reading your books. At 22, I think we're going to read a lot of books along the
Yes.
way.
Yes,
Yeah,
you.
so let's
Yes.
do it. Let's do it. Let's go.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you very much, and have a good time.
Thank you. You too.
And thank you to all the viewers, those who are watching live
Yeah.
and those who will get to watch after we are through. I can actually identify, we in the live we had Christina Antoniado and Chantel and Niger Keeper Maddox. Oh, that's a great name. So,
Hello.
and all the others who get to watch, thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye bye.
Yeah.